Recording. Hello everyone. Today I would like to conduct an interview with someone with expertise on the British Isles. So, good morning, sir. Good sir.
Good morning.
My name is Sabiq
I
Fauzy.
wouldn't say I'm an expert on UK, but I know a little bit about UK. Yes.
That's enough. That's more than enough.
Okay, good then.
I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Sabiq Fauzy. I am a student at Unisula, majoring in English
I see.
literature. So this is final exam, final exam for British society. We have to
I see.
interview someone that has a connection with the British Isles, be it native or someone who has lived there for extensive amount of time. So before we begin, you can start to introducing yourself, sir.
Okay. How do I call you, Sabiq or Fauzi?
Sabiq is all right.
Okay. Okay, Sabiq. I'm Andre Samosir. I'm from Bandung originally, but I studied in UK, in the UK, in the University of Glasgow, from 2014 to 2022. So yeah, I lived about 4 to 5 years in Glasgow.
Oh, that's quite. Do you ever consider to gain UK citizenships?
Yeah. So I considered that once or twice, yes, but for someone from outside the UK to stay in the to be able to be a resident in the UK, they have to have how do I say, letter of support from either a family member or an employer. So I if I want to move to UK, I have to secure a job first in the UK, and then the employer will send a letter to British immigration that I could stay in the UK.
That's a chance that many of us could only dream about. So let's get down to the interview. So you said that you live for about 5 years in the UK.
Yes.
Can you tell about, especially in Scotland, right?
In Scotland, yes. In Glasgow.
Can you
City of
explain
Glasgow, yes.
to me what's the major difference between British and Scotland? Because I heard that Scottish people consider it offensive if we call the entire Isles to be British and to be English.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. So there is a common misconception in Indonesia that England is about when we say England, we tend to think that it's all of the domain of United Kingdom of the Great Britain, while actually Great Britain, the UK, has 4 provinces: England, Wales, North Ireland, and Scotland. So Scotland is one of the provinces under the domain of United Kingdom of Great Britain. Wales, Scotland, and England is in one island, British Island, so the island of Britain. And North Ireland itself is within a different island, the island of Ireland. So North Ireland shared the land with the country of Ireland.
So what's the difference between Scotland and the rest of the UK?
Well, maybe you can see from the movies that usually what's depicted about the UK is it's like a busy country and full of people like Jakarta, because usually the city that is shown in the movies is London, while London is only a small while London uh, contains many so many people, but and from so many different ethnicities, but London itself is only a small part of UK. So Scotland itself is a very large province, and Scotland has forests, has mountains and valleys. It also has so many farms and country farms. So you can see Scottish cows. People say Scottish goose, but goose is how Scottish people say cows. Also sheep. You can see sheep. So to be to put it simply, actually Scotland is more like Indonesia in that Scotland is very, how do I say,
Rural.
agrarian place. So there are farms, there are nature to be how do I say, it's a scenery to be visited. So something like that. Scotland is different with England. England is like Manchester, London, Liverpool. It's a very industrial city, industrial place. England.
Oh yeah. Uh, I've watched a movie called Transporter. Do you know that?
Yes,
Uh,
yes. It's a famous movie from Scotland. Yes.
I don't think it gives a good picture about Scottish people in general in that movie, but it's a good movie for I think. Uh, you mentioned that
Transporting.
you
I haven't seen Transporting myself, but yes, people commended the movie.
the famous line is the main characters say each side being Scottish. You know.
I
It's very
see.
good
I
movie.
see.
You said that you went to Glasgow University.
Yes,
Is it
I
okay
did.
if I ask you what are you majoring?
Oh, okay. Sure, sure. So, uh, I graduated actually I first graduated from Unpad as a doctor, medical doctor. But I how do I say, I developed an interest in social issues, psychological issues, and philosophical basis behind how our society operates. So I went to Glasgow Uni to study health professions education, or it's more popular in Indonesia to call it medical education. So it's education, but specifically how education is done in the fields of health professions, medical doctor, dentistry, pharmacy, physiotherapy, something like that.
Oh. And how do they differ between Indonesian university and Scottish or British university? What's the difference? It's an obvious question, but you know, I have to ask.
Yes, yes, it's an obvious question, and we could go all day long to talk about this. Okay, so the first the the first striking difference for me is that how uh universities in UK or schools in UK are very supportive towards their students. So I studied in Indonesia in Unpad to be a doctor. I studied there to be a doctor, a PhD. Uh, but the main difference is it's like, how do I say? So when I don't know how it is now, but when I studied in Indonesia for the medical degree, it's like I was left to fight for myself. So I had to do everything by myself. I had to struggle with the ugly transportation system at that time. I had to find a place to. I had to find a place by myself to stay because it was in Jatinangor, not in Bandung. And also, it's like you just in Indonesia, you just when you study in a higher education, it's like that the universities just care about how you progress in academically. So what's your grade, and can you do better in exams, things like that. While in the when I studied in University of Glasgow, uh as I said earlier, the university was very supportive towards my well-being as a person. So not just as a student, but as a person. So there are dormitories to rent when you need a place to stay. And there are wide canteens. So there are not just one canteen, but there is not just one canteen, but multiple canteens in the university. There are social places for the students to gather around, whether to study or to just to talk with each other. So and the university itself was built. It's a very old university, so it's very neatly built. And uh, there are places to, how do I say, when you want to wind down and relax, you got places to do that too in the university neighborhood. And then uh, my supervisors, so dosen pembimbing in Indonesian, my supervisors are were very caring. So they ask not just about how you progressed in writing the thesis, but how my well-being was uh, paid attention by them. So whether I whether I had problems psychologically, whether I was not healthy physically, they cared for that too. So it's a very, how do I say, it's a very comfortable and very supportive environment to study. Also, there are so many extracurricular activities,
Oh.
clubs where you can join, uh, from like electrical music club to dancing, drawing clubs, art, philosophy, political debate club. So many activities you can do while you study in the university.
We have a commonality. My supervisor is also very supportive, Miss.
And so so I got to say that you got how do I say, you're lucky to have a good supervisor.
Oh
So
yes, my
please
supervisor
say
is
hi
very good,
to him or her
very
for me.
nice,
Yes.
Mr. Stark. And uh, uh, it could be said that our Indonesian education, encourage us to be independent and resilient, i.e., we live on our own. Like,
Yeah, something like that.
but uh, I'm curious, is there in a foreign country, in the foreign university, is there a like executive branch of student like BEM? Is that even exist outside
Yes, we
Indonesia?
have the yeah we have the so in University of Glasgow we have the
Student body.
student senate. So we call them student senate. So it's something like
Oh,
students undergraduate executive branch. Yes,
Oh, I thought
we have something like that.
it's just unique to nation, but oh, and then
But yeah, so uh, the university, the student university senate takes care of. It also takes care of the University of Glasgow students' well-being. So
oh,
whether we want to build a new club for extracurricular activities, whether you have a problem with your study or with your teachers, they also takes care. The Senate also take care of that. So yeah.
oh, the study must be hard, but the university life seems kind of fun.
Well, mm, for me myself, I I like how do I say? I like tranquility. I like slow life. So living in Glasgow was a very good experience for me because, as I said earlier, it's it's an old city. It's an old university. So everything is very tidy there. Uh, Also, you don't have chaos in the streets, and
Uh,
you can have regular schedules like for doing groceries, cleaning your place. You can have regular schedules for everything. So yes, it's a very different experience, and for me, because I like a slow life, it's a suitable experience for me compared to Indonesia, where you don't have, if you don't even have Indonesia, you don't even have uh, a certain time to have appointments with people. You can be late like 2 hours. You can, and it could be just okay. Let's do the meeting. I don't. I personally don't like that.
that's just too slow living.
Yeah.
Uh, so
Yeah,
I've never
that's not.
been
Yeah,
I've never been to the UK, but I suppose our university has better canteen and food, right? It
I
probably.
see. So
And
yeah, so you're from Unisula, right? From
yes, from
Semarang.
Semarang.
I think Semarang or Java universities in Java has have more, how do I say, a more a slower kind of schedules compared to universities in West Java or Jakarta. So I think
Mhm.
there are some similarities with how it's done in Glasgow Uni. But I don't know if nowadays in Indonesian universities you can have regular schedules and certain time for appointments and anything else, everything else. I don't know. Is there any progress in that part? Because when I studied as an undergraduate, it's in 2000. It's in year 2000. Uh, I could not have a certain time for appointment with my teachers, with my supervisors. So I hope it's better now.
Oh, there is a progress, obviously. We'll catch up with the rest
I
of the world
see.
in about 80 years.
Okay.
Uh, uh,
That's not too long compared to how human species exist already.
progress nonetheless, albeit
Yes,
slow.
yes, yes. I agree.
And
I agree.
probably the last topic. So, what about the cultural activity? Have you ever, is there any art gallery or concert you go to? Tell me about the cultural life.
Sure, sure. So yeah, Glasgow. Maybe maybe you have heard that Glasgow is maybe. you can call Glasgow a musical capital of the
Yes,
UK
I've heard that.
because, yeah, because well, Oasis from there, and then some bands are from Scotland, from Glasgow actually. So yeah, I didn't go to concerts, but I did go to, how do I say, cultural events, some cultural events in Glasgow. So uh as I said earlier, Glasgow is a very musical city. So there are pubs. Pubs is like pubs are places where you can eat, but there are also sometimes there are also music there, live music. So it's called pubs in UK, in the UK. Also, there are regular quizzes in the pubs. So like every Wednesday, you can go to some clubs to, just if you want uh to attend quizzes. So it's trivia. So uh the owner of the pub will ask some questions, and whoever can answer uh most, they got the prize.
Sounds fun.
So there is that as well, and it was a they were a very fun, they were very fun. I've attended some of the quizzes, the trivia nights. It's called trivia nights or quiz nights in the UK. Also, I I fo- I did some dances. So we have uh, Scotland has their own, how do I say, dance party. It's a folk dance. Um, it's a traditional dance. It's called Ceilidh. So Ceilidh, but it's read Ceilidh. So you don't read the D. Ceilidh. It's a traditional dance activity, traditional dance meeting uh, in Scotland, and you can have it quite regularly. So whenever there whenever there are parties, traditional parties, you can almost be sure that there will be a Kaylee there. So the people will pair with, you can just pair with anybody actually. So it's not necessarily uh it's not necessarily has to be man and woman. You can pair with anyone, and you will do the, how do I say, the dance move, the traditional dance moves. And if you don't know the dance, uh so many people will just teach you to do the dance. So uh maybe in the movies, you see that Glaswegians or Scottish people are depicted as rough people because the of the Viking, how do I say, Viking lineage. But no, Scottish people, and in particular Glaswegians and Edinburgh, people from Edinburgh, the two cities where I often stay. Uh, the Scottish people there were very nice, very very courteous as well. So often when you look confused uh, on the street, when you look confused, people will just come to you and ask, "Are you okay? Can I help you?" So it's something. I mean, Indonesia, we often pride ourselves of that we are a very, how do I say, we are a very courteous, a very kind people. But at times I could see that if people from outside Indonesia can be kinder than us Indonesians. So yeah, the cultural side of Scotland is like that. So they are nice people. There are traditional activities, and Glasgow itself is a very musical city. So that's the cultural part of the UK. Yeah, and you also, well, it's like Indonesia as well. In the UK, football is a major part
Yes.
of the society, the community. So yeah, you can see every Saturday you can see people gathering around in the pubs at watching football.
When you do Kaylee, right?
Yes.
Did you wear kilt? I don't the Scottish skirt
No,
for
no, no,
men?
no, no. So kilt is a yeah kilt is the traditional how do I say traditional
Dress.
clothes, traditional apparels, yeah, for the Scottish people, but because it's usually handmade
Hmm?
and it's made from the best wool you can have. uh it's very expensive, so not people in Scotland do not wear kilt daily. It's an expensive thing to have kilts.
Just like us, we don't wear kebaya every day. Right?
Yeah, something like that, something like that. Yeah, but when people so kilts are worn
Man.
by the male people, right? But when people when the males in Scotland wear kilts, they're actually more, how do I say, uh more good looking than usual. They're very, how do I say, I couldn't find the word right now, so they're very gaga. So
Buff.
yeah, it's yeah not buff, but uh
Very masculine.
they're very good looking when they wear kilts, when the men wear kilts. So it's not because I have to say this, because Indonesia, we tend to, how do I say, we tend to dismiss or to underappreciate people, man who dares to wear something that's not usual for us to wear. But actually there, I could see that, well, men could be still good looking, could be still uh very, very masculine, very manly, while wearing kilts.
Uh, I think kilt just a shorter version of sarung, right?
Yeah, something like
The
that. But
idea is the same.
sarung is very thin. Sarung is very thin, while kilts are from
Wool.
wool, so it's very thick, because of the cold climate there. It's obvious that, yeah.
Ah, yes. Eh, what your experience in Scotland sounds very fun. Uh, it seems we are running out of time, so thank you very much, sir. You are such a great help. You have no idea how much help you are. Thank you very much, sir.
No problem, no problem at all. No problem. It's a how do I say? It's a refreshing thing to reminisce, to remember again things that I experienced in the UK. So thank you very much for this, how do I say, for opportunity.
Thank you very much, Mr. Andri Samusir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Uh,
You're very welcome. My pleasure.
have a nice day.
You
See
too.
you
You
next
too.
time. I'll end the record.
See you. See you.